Let's clean up. Okay, we are cleaning up and we're getting ready for science. You guys are more than welcome to come to the front. Sit on the carpet. Only use the chairs in the front of the classroom, Connor. Use one of those. You can use that one. Be careful. Connor has that. Put yours back. Only the one. Jeremiah, don't move them like that. That's enough right there. Thank you. Do you have to sit in the teacher's seat? No, you don't, Grace. You can sit right here. Come on. Okay. 1, 2, 3. You okay? 4. Scoot up a little bit, Carter. Connor. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.5. Not yet. I will do it. Thank you. 10. London, let's go. Let's go, girl. Be careful. Good job. Sky, do you want to come up or you going to stay there? Okay, good. All right. So, don't hit the light yet. Turn them back on. I'll get them. Before we get started with today's lesson, I want to kind of recap yesterday's lesson. We learned a little bit about sand. Who can tell me how sand is made? How do we get sand on our beaches? How do we get sand on our beaches, Jace?
In little tiny rocks.
Sand is, we found out yesterday that sand is made of
big rocks.
Yes.
The big rocks fall off the mountain and hit the edge and then it breaks.
Awesome, Jace. Jace said we found out yesterday that sand is made of little tiny rocks and that they come from big rocks that fall from the mountain. Now, when they're coming down from the mountain and falling, what's pulling them? Where are they? What's making them come to it? What is the pulling force that's making these small rocks come? London. The river. Good job. Awesome. So we learned yesterday that sand is made of tiny rocks. We learned that those rocks come from, now, they come from a big rock. What do we call that big rock? Because we made them. What do we call them? What's the name of that big rock, Uriah? Do you remember? Carter, do you remember?
Yeah.
What is it? It's the big rock. We made it with the paper. They're called something, Sky. Boulders. Yes, sir. So the boulders fall from the mountain. The river is pulling, it's like a force that's pulling the rocks down, the boulders. And as they fall and hit the different parts of the mountain, they turn into these really tiny rocks that create sand, what we love to play with on the beach, right?
I don't see.
Awesome. So today, we are learning for our science lesson, where do flash floods happen?
Wait a second.
Flash floods.
Wait a second. But if sand is made of tiny rocks, then if we make sand castles, then we're just making sand castles then we're just making castles.
Rock castles.
Yeah.
Little small pebbles, like.
Pebbly pebbles.
Yeah, pebble castles.
What?
Yes. So, hit the lights, Darcy, since you're up. And let's get started. And let's see what Doug is talking about. We're going to find out where the flash floods happen.
Yay!
Hey, it's Esther from the Mystery Science team. And today, I've got a mystery to show you that has to do with water.
This is somebody
Look at
different.
this huge, powerful river. Now, what if I told you that just a few minutes earlier, that river was
Quiet
a
voices.
See just a trickle
Why
of a
would we
stream,
start
a
listening?
few flowers waving in the breeze? But if you listen carefully, you might hear a rumble in the distance. And if you look really closely near those trees in the background, you'll see something moving down the riverbed. That's water, a big river of water filled with mud and sticks. The river's getting bigger and louder now. These two dogs have come to check out what all the racket is. A few seconds later, the river starts to overflow, washing over the flowers on the bank. By the time the dogs come back to check on what's going on, the entire area has transformed into a roaring river. And even they realize that it's time to head out to find someplace safer and drier. What's happening here is something called a flash flood. A flood is when water overflows into areas that are usually dry. Unlike some floods, which happen over days or even months, flash floods happen really fast, usually in 6 hours or less. In a flash flood, water flows together at high speeds, creating a rushing river that can quickly fill an area. Even though it might seem like this flood appeared out of nowhere, it's actually not the first time a flash flood has happened in this place. In this area, Santa Clara Pueblo land in New Mexico, people have learned to expect flash floods to happen every year, and sometimes more than once. Some places get flash floods over and over again in the same spot. But why would flash floods happen so many times in the same area? Can you think of reasons why one place might flood more than other places?
Ooh, good question. Can you think of reasons why one place might flood more than other places? Think about it, turn to your partner, and discuss it. Grace needs a partner. Darcy needs a partner. Come on, Wyatt. Come on, Wyatt.
So I think that I saw people that is coming down from the highest mountain. So I think that
Connor, are you talking to someone? All right. Talk about it with Wyatt now, real quick, Connor.
A flash flood is probably made by sticks into a river, and then ocean water comes through.
I like our team tips. I love the team tips. Good job. Okay, now I want to call on a couple of people. I'm going to pick a stick to tell me what you and your partner discussed. All right, let me see. Let's see. Number 11. Wyatt, you talked about it with Darcy and Connor. What did you guys discuss?
I thought that flash floods are made with sticks in the river, then the ocean water comes through, then it makes this big pile of mud.
Sounds good. I like your ideas. Why would it happen in one place more than it happens in another place? Why do you think that will happen?
It might
Keiston and James.
that the ocean water gets more water every time. Then the ocean water comes through and makes more flash floods.
In certain areas.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Let's see who I can call on next. I just want to hear what you and your partners discuss. Number 1. Nyla, what did you and Grace talk about? Can you think of reasons why one place might flood more than other places? What did you guys talk about?
So I think that why it happens more than that spot because maybe it's like a big hill and then up top is like the hill is like a big place of water and then it's this little open spot.
Okay.
So it makes the water comes all the way to that open
Oh,
spot.
sounds good. So Nyla thinks that it happens in more places that have hills. That when you have more hills, you're more likely to have floods. Sounds good. I like these ideas. I'm calling on one more person. One more person. Number 2. London, who was your partner? Ellis and Carter. What did you guys discuss?
We discussed that the ocean is like there's more mountains, so when the ocean decides to choose a mountain, the one that's already had a flood, it might choose the same one.
Oh, so you think that nature kind of chooses the same areas that they normally are. That sounds good. I love it, London. Let's see what Esther, because today is Esther, not Doug. Let's see what Esther's talking about.
Yes.
I know we missed Doug. We gotta email Doug.
Come on, let's email Doug.
I
Okay.
don't know how you answered, but the first thing I think of is rain. Since the result of a flash flood is too much water, it would make sense that the cause of a flash flood would be too much rain.
Ooh.
But it's not that simple. Take a look. This is Seattle, a city in Washington State.
Listen.
Seattle is famous for its foggy, rainy weather. The area usually gets about 152 rainy days every year. That's way more rainy days than most places in the U.S.
Oh yeah.
So you'd think that Seattle would get a lot of flash floods, right? But that's not the case. The Seattle area has had exactly one recorded flash flood in the last 70 years. Even though it rains in Seattle often, most of the rainstorms are small. Places that get a lot of light rain aren't that likely to get flash floods. There's just not enough water in one place at one time to create a fast-moving wave. On the other hand, places that get big rainstorms are likely to get flash floods, even if those big storms don't happen very often. But not all big rainstorms lead to flash floods. To understand how rain becomes a flood, we have to look at the ground. But the ground under your feet can be really different in different places. For example, I live in an area where there are lots of natural spaces and farmland. So I see mostly plants, soil, and mud on the ground, with a few big paved roads here and there. Take a minute to think about what the ground is like in your area. When you go outside and look down, what do you see?
Okay. What is the ground like where you live? So let's think about the ground in your community, Kingston. Why are you talking when I'm talking? You and Jace, I'm going to separate you. Okay? I need you to focus so we can get through this lesson. Okay, so I want you to think about the ground around your home and in your community. And then I want you to turn to your partner or partners and talk about what the ground is like where you live.
It looks like concrete and
All right, we got some team tents going on. All right, I see some team tents. All right, let's see what we've been talking about. Okay, you can put your tents down. Number 8, Jace. Jace, what did you and Kingston talk about?
grass, pebbles, rocks, and trees.
Okay, good. What about Kingston? What's yours like?
Grass, pebbles, a garden,
A garden, okay. Me too. Rocks, bricks,
and a tree.
and your tree. Okay. Number 7.
Ellis.
Ellis, what did you and your group talk about? How's the ground in where you live?
Where I live, the garden is like I mostly see grass
Mm-hmm.
and dirt.
Mhm.
Because my dog gets up around it too.
Okay.
And we also have toys all over the place.
Okay. On the ground?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And a lot of bugs.
All right, bugs. Good. Okay, one more group. 15. How's the ground where you live?
So, my house on the ground outside, it looked like it had like a black thing, like a black top, and it's black, and it had rocks, and it had like grass growing,
Okay.
and on my sidewalk, it had like squares,
Yeah.
and then had them like little rocks in it.
Little pebbles like ingrained in it, right?
And the grass
Yeah.
is like thick.
Oh, good, good. Okay, let's see what Esther has to say.
Different kinds of ground do different things when rain falls. If you live in a place with lots of natural spaces like I do, when rain falls on the ground, it usually hits plants and soil. But different places have different kinds of soil. Some soil, like the soil in this container, is gritty and grainy and hard to pack together. Scientists call this sandy soil. Very sandy soils are like sand on the beach. Take a look at what happens when water falls on sandy soil. The water disappears almost immediately. It soaks into the soil, trickling down into spaces between the grains of sand. Sandy soil is absorbent, which means that it soaks up water like a sponge. But what if the ground is made of a different kind of soil? This container is filled with clay soil. Soils with a lot of clay are a lot like
Stop talking, guys.
you
Let
might
them.
use for an art project. They're mucky and sticky and come together really easily. Watch what happens when water falls on the clay soil. The water just stays on the surface. Clay doesn't absorb water quickly. The water will have to sit there for a long, long time before it starts to expand. And in some places, the ground doesn't absorb water at all. If you live in a rocky area, you might have noticed water bouncing off rocks during a rainstorm or rolling down the sides of rocky cliffs. And if you live in a city, maybe you've seen puddles on the street or sidewalk after a big rain. In cities, the ground is usually covered in hard, human-made surfaces we call pavement. Rocks and pavement have something in common. They're usually waterproof. Rain that falls on rock and pavement usually just stays there on the surface. If enough water collects in one spot, that can create a puddle. If even more water collects, it might create a flood. Still, a big puddle is different from the rushing river of water that we saw in that flash flood earlier.
Why are we talking like that, guys?
Turn an overflowing puddle into a
We're
fast-moving river.
not doing a lot of talking. Okay, because how can you hear if you're talking? What could turn a puddle into a fast-moving river? What can turn? Talk to your partners and We got some team tense going on. Okay. All right. Good job. All right. Number 5. Who's number 5? Kingston. Quiet voices. Let's listen. Kingston. What could turn a puddle into a fast-moving river of water? What did you and Jay say? Talk about.
River water.
Too much river water. Okay, good. All right, that's a good idea. I like that idea. 17. Darcy, what did you and your 2 partners discuss? What could turn a puddle into a fast-moving river?
Too much water.
Too much water. Okay, good. In the same place. I like that. All right, last person. Number 16. Who is that? Sky? Sky, what did you and Uriah discuss? Oh, and Skylar. What could turn a puddle into a fast-moving river of water? Probably rocks. Okay. All right. Let's see what Esther has to say.
Hey, yo,
Think about the last time you saw water moving from one place to another. You may have noticed that it was flowing downwards. Water flows from high places to low places.
Gravity.
Rainwater is no different. When rain falls, any water that the ground doesn't absorb flows downhill and collects in low spots. In some places, the water may not flow very far.
Look at that.
Think about the puddles forming on a parking lot, for example. Parking lots are usually pretty flat, so rainwater might just roll a few feet downhill towards a tiny dip in the pavement. But imagine what happens when it rains on the top of a tall, steep mountain. The rainwater slides down the sides of the mountain, gathering speed as it goes. The steeper the mountain, the faster the water moves. If enough water flows together on one slope, by the time it reaches the bottom, it can become a fast-moving river of water, a flash flood. Okay, so now that you've learned what causes a flash flood, I have a challenge for you. The U.S. state of Texas has dealt with flash floods for a long time. One strip of land in Texas in particular has experienced more flash floods than most other places in the entire United States. Over the years, this one part of Texas has become so famous for flooding that it has been nicknamed Flash Flood Alley. So here's your challenge. I challenge you to find Flash Flood Alley. How could you figure out which part of Texas gets the most flash floods? What kind of place would you look for?
Dallas does not have flash.
All right. How could you figure out which part of Texas gets the most flash floods? How could you figure it out? Talk about it with your group.
probably thought about some of the things that we've been talking about. How the weather and the ground in an area can make a place more likely to flood. If the place,
Pay
one,
attention.
is in a lower area next to a steep slope like a mountain or a cliff, two, has ground that can't absorb water like clay soil or pavement, and three, gets big rainstorms, then you know that place is super likely to get flash floods. Seems simple enough, right?
Yeah.
Well, yes, but Texas is really big. It takes 13 hours to drive from the top of the state to the bottom of it. Imagine how long it would take you to travel to the bottom of every mountain and every hill to see how much water the ground would soak up. Luckily, we don't have to do that. That is why we have maps. A map is a model of a place that shows information people have gathered about that place over time. You've seen some maps of Texas already. Different kinds of maps show different ways. This is a road map of Texas.
Why are we
It's
talking?
to mark cities and lines to show roads and
Jeremiah?
borders. This map is perfect
Okay, guys.
plan a road trip from Houston to El Paso with his family, or if you wanted to see how many big cities are in between Dallas and San Antonio. But let's take a look at another
Y'all not
map of
paying
Texas
attention.
that shows us something
Ellis,
different.
put that away.
This
We're
map
in the
uses
middle of
symbols,
science.
tiny
Thank
pictures
you.
that represent things to map which part of Texas have certain resources.
Because tomorrow I want to know what you learned.
And some maps use colors to mark different areas. On this map, the color green shows where Texas has forest. So even if you're miles and miles away from Texas, a map with the right information might be all you need to help you find Flash Flood Alley. Imagine you're starting with a totally blank map of Texas. What information would you want to add to the map to help you find Flash Flood Alley?
All right. Imagine. So let's imagine. Everybody close your eyes. Everybody close your eyes.
I can't see.
Okay? Everybody close your eyes. Imagine you're starting with a totally blank map of Texas. Your map is blank. What information would you want to add to your map to help you find Flash Flood Alley? All right, open your eyes and discuss with your partner.
I do not.
I'm starting to see Team 10. All right. Number 3. Who? Jeremiah? Who is it? Oh, Uriah. Uriah, what did you guys discuss? What information would you want to add to your map if you had a blank map of Texas to help you find Flash Flood Alley? Huh? Lakes? You want to add lakes to it? Good. Okay, let's see who else. Number 9. He went home. Okay. 4. Carter. A plane or a car. Okay, sounds good. That's what you would add to the map. And last one is number 6.
I will add at least some highways. So like some highways on it.
Highways. Okay. I like your ideas, everyone. Let's see what they say. Let's see what Esther says. So, it's our
In today's
activity.
activity, you're going to explore the state of Texas and find Flash Flood Alley, the place that gets lots of flash floods.
Pay
And
attention.
anywhere else in
Dang!
Texas.
What is that?
You don't have time to explore all of Texas, but with a map of Texas, you can explore the state without actually going there. On your map, you'll see 5 numbers, each in a different location on the map. Flash Flood Alley is in one of these 5 places. But which one? It's up to you to
Not in
figure that out.
Dallas. We know it's not in
As
Dallas.
you explore Texas, you'll get clues that tell you where flash floods are likely to happen. You'll use your flash flood finder to keep track of all these clues.
That looks like Arizona.
At the end, you'll put all the clues together to figure out the exact location.
Why are you yelling, guys?
Are you ready?
Come on,
I'll
guys.
show you how to get started step by step.
All right. So,
Partner. Explorers often work in teams.
Can we pick one?
Your partner will explore Texas together, share ideas, and work together to figure things out. When you're done with this step, click the arrow on the right.
so this is 19 steps. We can't do them before wind time. So we about to have wind. We're gonna have to pick up during our read aloud after lunch. We'll do the activity, okay, guys? What's wrong? You hungry? Okay, it's almost lunchtime. Right after wind time is lunch, okay?
Okay, can we get our partners?
I can start making our partners now. I will choose. Wyatt, sorry. I'm gonna pick 6.
Yeah, I just want to be with somebody. Very nice.
I'm gonna pick 6, so remember your partner. This will happen right after lunch, during our read aloud, okay? We'll do this. Who is number 15? Wait a minute. 15. Malik, you are with. It's not. Probably. It's number 4. Malik and who? Okay, it's you and Carter.
That one.
Carter.
With the Air Jordan.
Carter, not Connor. Carter. Okay, so that's your partner. 16. Who's number 16? Sky? Sky, you are partnered with number 1. You and Nyla. Okay. All right. Number 18.
Oh, Demetrius, she's not here.
He's not here. Okay. Number 6. Jeremiah, you are partnered with. Quiet, guys. Quiet. You are partners with number 7. Yes.
Ellis and
Jeremiah, please. Number 8. Who's 8? Jace. You are partners with 14. That's Khalil. He's not here. Quiet, guys, so I can get. Please stop so I can get through this. 17 and Jace. Who is 17? Okay, Darcy, you and Jace are partners, okay? No, you don't. Darcy's super smart. Y'all gonna do good.
Okay.
Number 3.
Okay, you're right.
Uriah, you are partners with
Okay. Oh,
number
Kingston.
5.
It's Kingston.
You and Kingston, okay?
Put a smile on your face.
No, number 9. Braden's gone.
Yeah, he went home.
Number 10.
Okay, Grace.
Grace, you are
She's
with.
not 11.
It don't matter. Don't say that, because that'll be the one. 13.
Oh,
You and Connor. Okay. All right. Let's see. Number 12.
Okay.
Who is number 12? Skyler, you are partnered. You are partners actually with 2 people.
Okay.
Number 11
Yes!
and number 2.
Get out of here! Let's go! I am lucky.
All right, everybody put your chairs back. Let's get ready to win.
Yeah, I got it. In the
negative things, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna, this is my last time speaking to you about being kind and making sure we say the right things. Because if we don't have anything nice to say, we shouldn't say anything at all. And I told you about the golden rule yesterday.
Yeah.
What's the golden rule?
Treat others the way
Thank you, Jace. Treat others the way you want to be treated.
I'm cold.
Go get your jacket. All right, guys. I'm going to call you guys back for Chromebooks.
Where's Nyla?